Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Death to America! Death to America! This is what America sees about suicide bombers. And suicide bombers is the lowest common denominator for Americans perceiving Muslims. People who hate Muslims, they see Muslims as this. Muslims did not invent terrorism. Tamil Tigers actually invented this little gem here, and they're not Muslims. Most Muslims can understand this. Whether they agree with it or not, that's not the point. Most Muslims can understand this. Most American non-Muslims cannot even understand this. They can't fathom it. And I want Americans to fathom this. As soon as we can get beyond, they're nuts, these guys are a bunch of idiots. As soon as we get beyond that, we can start having meaningful dialogue. So let me explain to you this, my perception of what a suicide terrorist bomber is. First, he's going to say, I'm not a terrorist. Terrorists are people who drop bombs out of airplanes and destroy whole villages of women and children. The numbers that these guys kill are a lot smaller, but it's a perception. We've got a demonized perception of these people. These people are crazy. Well, some of them may be crazy. Some of them may be lackeys. Some of them may be devout and really want revenge. Some of them may have lost all of their family, killed by the enemy. This is their means of fighting. This is one of the ways they do it, and it's quite sensational. And when they make their speeches, there's a lot of religious rhetoric. Let's clear out the religious rhetoric. Remember, they've got cameras rolling, they're excited, they got adrenaline, they're about ready to lose their lives. So they're going to say things that aren't going to add up to us. They've got scripts to follow, I'm sure. When the camera's done rolling and they sit with their friends, what are the real reasons why they're doing this? Let's get beyond the religious rhetoric. Let's get beyond the language barrier. And imagine if the suicide bomber spoke English that we could really understand. And they weren't speaking to a camera to try to get us excited and scared like they've been told to do. They were actually speaking their heart. I never dreamed in my life that suicide would ever have been a viable option for my future. I wanted better than this for myself. I mean, what does it take for a person to consider death by suicide, homicide, a viable option? It's not inherent in human nature. It hurts when I think of the suffering I will inflict with the bomb underneath these clothes. Without warrant, my little sisters all dead, no apologies. And I will deliver to them a small dose of our daily consumption of loss here. Not saying that every suicide bomber has had their loved ones killed. Some have. Some know the pain of others. They want justice. It's a way of fighting back. As soon as we learn to understand this, we get that much closer to peace. If we can understand the mind of someone who would blow themselves up for a cause, then we can understand the mind of a Zionist. We can understand the mind of a typical American. Are we willing to put ourselves in the shoes or in the belt of this person and to stand there waiting, knowing that you're going to pull this trigger and your life is going to end and you're going to take all these people with you, and you've had to convince yourself that your faith is strong enough, that you're not going to go to hell, and this is the right thing to do. And you have people supporting you. People who aren't going to do it themselves because they want to live. Because humans want to live. We want to live. We want peace. Even this guy probably dreams of peace. Bye, everybody.